They say you should never get too attached to material possessions, but when someone destroys the car you've worked years to purchase, you don't just let it slide. You make sure they pay the price for the rest of their life. Before we get started, which country are you watching from? And please subscribe my channel, my $100,000 pride and joy, my Lotus Emira. I dreamed about owning one since my early 20s, watching videos of that aggressive exhaust note late into the night, imagining the day I could finally slip behind the wheel. It took me over 4 years of disciplined saving. No vacations, no impulse purchases, and driving an old beat-up Corolla until the wheels practically screamed for mercy. But the day I pulled into my quiet HOA-managed cul-de-sac, the stairs made it all worthwhile. Jake, my neighbor, 2 doors down, came running out, phone already recording. "Dude, you actually did it." He grinned. We stood there admiring the matte silver finish, the sleek aerodynamics, and that deep rumbling idle like it was a work of art. But apparently my dream car wasn't everyone's dream. Enter Rita, not the HOA president, just an overzealous board member with too much time on her hands. Mid-50s, bleached blonde bob, always dressed like she was heading to a board meeting. She stood at the end of my driveway, arms crossed, sunglasses perched low, judging me like my Emira had personally insulted her family. I gave a polite wave. She turned and walked away without a word. Over the next 2 weeks, Rita became a constant presence, circling my house in her Prius, jotting notes in a notebook, pretending to inspect sidewalks and trash cans that didn't need inspecting. Then came the inevitable showdown. Clipboard in hand, she stood on my porch and announced, word for word, "Your car is loud, decreases property values, and ruins the tranquil aesthetic of this neighborhood. Replace it with something more appropriate. A Tesla would be preferable. A Tesla." I nearly burst out laughing. I'd read the HOA bylaws cover to cover, nothing in their prohibited sports cars. I kept my driving respectful, never revved unnecessarily, never blocked driveways. I was the definition of a perfect neighbor. Weeks passed with no new car in my driveway, just the beautiful sound of my Emira each morning. Then, one evening after an HOA meeting held at Rita's house, which I skipped, I came home to a disaster. Red spray paint across my rear window, I warned you. All 4 tires slashed completely flat. Both side mirrors ripped clean off. My hands trembled as I checked my Ring camera footage. There she was, hoodie up, gloves on, spray can in hand, even giving the camera the finger before walking away. This wasn't just petty HOA drama anymore. Under California Penal Code 594, it was felony vandalism, and I wasn't going to let her escape justice. I called my lawyer Sam that same night. We went through the footage frame by frame, zooming in to confirm the face, the posture, the cocky smirk at the camera. No doubt about it, Rita had turned my driveway into a crime scene. The damage estimate was devastating. $800 for Hyper, Performance Pirelli P0 tires, $1,200 for both mirror assemblies, $6,500 for specialized repaint and detailing to remove the spray without damaging the matte finish, plus $2,000 for a rental car while the Emira was in the shop. In total, over $11,500 in damages. Sam explained that under California Civil Code 333, I could recover the full amount in a civil lawsuit. And under California Penal Code 594, this was a felony due to the cost exceeding $400. We decided to pursue both criminal charges and a civil suit. But before the legal machinery could start moving, I wanted the community to know exactly who they were dealing with. The next HOA meeting was perfect timing. Rita was there, sitting with her arms folded like she was chairing the Supreme Court. Halfway through new business, I stood up, plugged in my laptop, and projected the Ring footage onto the meeting room wall. The room went dead silent. Rita shifted uncomfortably in her seat, her eyes scanning the room as the video played, her leaning in with the spray can, methodically slashing each tire, then casually walking off like she was tending to her garden. "That's doctored," she stammered. "This is harassment. I was acting under community stewardship, protecting the neighborhood's tranquility." A wave of disbelief swept through the room. Sam, sitting in the back, spoke up. Under California law, that's felony vandalism, and she's about to face the consequences in court. Her face went ashen. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. The evidence spoke louder than anything I could say. 2 days later, police served her with criminal charges at her own front door. The look she shot me across the street wasn't anger anymore. It was panic, and that honestly felt like the first victory in this entire ordeal. But I wasn't finished. Court was approaching, and I was going to make sure every dollar, every hour, every bit of stress she'd caused me came back to her 10 times over. Court day arrived, and Rita walked in wearing a fake smile like she thought charisma could erase high-definition video evidence. My attorney presented the case methodically. The footage, the repair estimates, and her own HOA notes about wanting me to remove the noisy status symbol. The judge didn't sugarcoat it. Using your HOA position as justification to commit felony vandalism is not only illegal, it's a betrayal of community trust. Under California Penal Code 594, she was convicted of vandalism and malicious destruction of property. She was ordered to pay $13,500 covering my repair costs, the rental car, and legal fees, plus court-ordered restitution. The sentence also included probation, community service, and a short stay in county jail. She had 30 days to pay or risk further penalties under California Code of Civil Procedure 699, 720, which allows seizure of assets for unpaid judgments. 2 months later, her house went dark. The blinds stayed closed. Then one morning, a moving truck appeared, and by sunset, Rita Baker was gone. No farewell, no explanation, just emptiness. I didn't throw a celebration or make an announcement. I just drove my Emira, its paint gleaming, tires fresh, engine purring once around the block. A few neighbors waved, a couple applauded. I parked it in the driveway, stepped out, and for the first time in weeks, I breathed without anxiety. Sometimes winning isn't about yelling the loudest. Sometimes it's about letting the truth and the law speak for themselves.